Hey guys, you're here because you just bought this book, How to Sell When Nobody's Buying. You've come back and you're on the bonus pages and now you're getting one of the 5 video lessons that you get for buying the book. So the first lesson is just talking to you about what's actually happened in the sales market as I was doing this research so that you have a background and an understanding of what's changed. Most sales training that's delivered today, most sales ideas that are talked about in sales meetings or that sales managers try and share with their teams are ideas that were developed, some of them in the 50s and 60s, often though in the 70s, 80s, and 90s. And a lot of those techniques, while there's some validity in things like closing or even prospecting in that, those things still work. But here's the thing, a lot of the core ideals that those are built around, for example, cold calling without having any contact other than the phone book or just picking a name out of the blue, those things just don't work anymore. In fact, they work against you now. Cold calling is something that is just one of the ideas that I talk about in the book that has died. And it died because people are overwhelmed. Information has become very easy. Access to people has become much more, it's become much more easy in terms of being able to find out who to contact and how to contact them. And they're working even harder to make sure they screen you out. So that's one of the big things that's changed. Another big thing has changed is the amount of information that people not only are getting, but that they have access to. So 6 or 7 years ago, the internet was still fairly new in terms of people using it as a strong research tool, doing a lot of research before they buy and that kind of thing. Now, the first place people go is Google. It's the first place they start to look about finding new products, finding what works, what doesn't work, what vendors are good, what clients are good. And those search results that show up in the first 10, 20 search results are the ones that ultimately influence most deeply people's opinions of you. Another thing that's come on very quickly is social media. Now, a lot of people think social media is a flash in the pan or a fad, but let me tell you, it's not. It's the future of communication, not only just between us and our clients, but also between major media and their viewers and clients. So as you're watching major media adapt and evolve, you're seeing them incorporate Twitter, Facebook, blogs, video, all of the kinds of things that savvy salespeople and entrepreneurs are using every day. So you've got to understand how to leverage these tools most effectively, and we cover that in a very detailed way in the book and then in some of the other bonus material that you're getting. Because this is a constantly evolving sort of process, I'm going to be putting up more information here, so you'll want to be checking back regularly. Another thing that has changed is the idea of information-induced ADD. That is, people don't give the amount of time or the amount of thought that they used to researching ideas. They simply let people present and then they go back, and fundamentally, oftentimes it comes down to who did not necessarily the best presentation, but it comes down to things like recency and frequency. So, the people who got to present longest and most and the people who presented last are oftentimes the people who get the business. Or clients are going back and they're trying to force fit current vendors so they don't have to go through the process of being overwhelmed by even more information. At the end of the day, though, what they're really looking for are well-qualified experts, people who can present them with information that they don't have, ideas that they don't have, and with solutions that they're unaware of, or showing them how the solution will work for them specifically. So, for example, salespeople who have written books, salespeople who blog regularly, salespeople who have a following on Twitter, salespeople who have created instructional videos, salespeople who have taken the time to capture on video testimonials. Those are the salespeople who are getting to be better known. And in the book, I talk about building the brand of yourself. Building your personal brand incorporates a lot of these things, but your personal brand also supports the brand of the company. It supports the idea that the salesperson is not just somebody who's there to systematically extract money from the company. The salesperson is a resource. The salesperson is someone they can trust. The salesperson is a solution provider who's going to help them get the results that they need no matter where they're at. That's a radical departure from the way most people sell. Most people still sell by the idea of calling up, contacting, connecting, and hoping that they'll say something that's interesting to the other person. That doesn't work anymore. I'm telling you that right now. So a lot of you are going to be saying, yeah, Dave, I've heard all this, I know all this, but the reality of it is, the next time you get on the call, stop and listen to yourself. Are you trying to get your features and benefits out as quick as you can? Because if you are, You're killing your sale. You have to understand the influence principles, you have to understand the persuasion principles, and you have to understand the information principles that have changed. Now here's what else has changed. The economy. Well, that's no big surprise, is it? So a lot of people are saying that selling is harder than it's ever been, but in reality, selling's no harder than it's ever been, but finding clients may be different than you're used to. You're not going to find them in the same old places. You're not going to get necessarily the same benefit you had before of having people who will just do business with you because they always have. Because based on information, based on the access to clients, based on a lot of different things, what's happening is your customers, your clients, the people, your prospects are ultimately looking a lot more. They're researching a lot more. They're taking in a lot more information. And information can be very confusing if it's not specific and to the point. Information is also not accepted if it's not presented in the format that they want it. So if you are insistent on getting in front of people, sitting down with them, giving them something to look at, brochures, handouts, those kinds of things, and what they really want is you to show them in 10 minutes online from wherever you're at exactly how something works, and you can't do that, you're dead in the water. So learning the new technologies that are available, for example, how to do effective webinars. And I'm not talking about software demos and that kind of thing alone. I'm talking about making a value proposition and presenting it via a webinar, via a teleseminar, by being able to show people quick videos that demonstrate a solution to their problem, by creating customized videos using a simple little camera, one like you'll find at http://budurl.com/sd1100. Take a look at that camera. It's less than $150 and you can carry it with you anywhere. It's smaller than a deck of cards. It's more effective than the pack of cigarettes you may be carrying right now. In fact, if you are, you need to visit my friend Don Kennedy at babbitts.com, it's BAHBITS.com, and stop smoking. Because let me tell you something else. People judge you instantly. If you're still a smoker and the people that you're selling to aren't, they judge you. They take a look at what's working for them. They take a look. If you're somebody who can't control your personal behaviors, if you're somebody who smells like cigarettes, and I don't care how much you think you don't, you do, and non-smokers can tell, they will judge you. In fact, judgments occur in under hundredths of a second. So Malcolm Gladwell talks about this idea in his book Blink when he talks about thin slicing. People are constantly taking in small, thin slices of information. Based on that, they're making gross decisions very quickly. That happens with your branding, it happens with your messaging, it happens with your voice, it happens with the way you dress, it happens with the way you smell, it happens with the way you look. It happens with them understanding what you know and what you read, what you think about, and who you associate with. People are taking in thousands of pieces of information about you all the time, and they're making a decision. Now, that might be something that's always been occurring. You're saying maybe that never changed, but here's what we know now. See, we know exactly how it occurs now, and from a neuroscience level, we know what's happening inside of people's brains. We know how they're reacting to this information, and we know what they're doing. In the book, I talk to you about all of the things that you need to know in order to circumvent that so that you present the best, not only image, but the best solution for their problem at the same time. So here's what I want you to do today. I want you to go back. This is your homework between now and the next video. I want you to go back and I want you to take a look. I want you to find out, do I have a LinkedIn account? Do I have a Twitter account? Do I have a Facebook page? Do I have a blog? Have I gone through the book and have I read the chapters and have I created my own website using Weebly.com? If you have no idea what I'm talking about, you need to read the book. Because I want you to use these tools systematically and effectively. So if you'll do that, you're going to learn a lot more than you've ever learned. You're going to be more effective than you've ever been, and you're going to be perfectly prepared for lesson 2. I'm Dave Lakahni. The next lesson is going to teach you something about focus you've never understood before.